What is everybody, it's Orange here and welcome to another Clash of Clans video. So today I'm going to be going over the balance changes for June 2018. So with the Town Hall 12 update, we all knew that some kind of balance changes would come out shortly after. That's just typical, that's just typical with updates, especially considering this one was so massive. So I want to go ahead and overview the balance changes that have come out, as well as the changes that have happened to building upgrade times, which is a big reason why I've made a video on this. Otherwise, I don't typically overview balance change updates if they don't really have a whole lot of, content in them. This one had a few minor changes, but the main reason that, I want to cover this is because of those building upgrade times. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into the start here. So Clash of Clans balance changes coming soon. With the release of Town Hall 12, by now you've been enjoying the brand new content. We have been calling this season the season of upgrades, and we weren't just referring to your villages. After we launched this update, we've been constantly monitoring the game to see where we can make immediate or incremental improvements. We hope the recent quality of life and game balancing changes have been welcome additions to the game. Continuing with our ongoing improvements, after careful consideration, we are introducing a few more balance changes to Clash of Clans. So looking at the first balance change here, the Wall Wrecker Siege Machine is getting nerfed. Everyone saw this coming. I saw it coming. At this point, if you are living under a rock and you don't play the game, the Siege Machine is a new mechanic that was added with Town Hall 12, and this one in particular is incredibly overpowered. It's so easy to basically 3-star anything with these wall wreckers. They're just way too overpowered. So they got a huge nerf here. This is probably one of the biggest nerfs we've ever seen in a troop unit, probably ever. So tons of health going down. Tons of health and DPS going down, losing almost 1,000 DPS at the max level. That's a lot of, or not 1,000 DPS, 1,000 health. So, oof, that's a lot. And the next balance change over here is the Super P.E.K.K.A. Increased movement in the Super P.E.K.K.A. and decreased Super P.E.K.K.A.'s death damage delay from 3 seconds to 1.5. So, my question is, why would they nerf the Super P.E.K.K.A. just to buff it again? I don't know. I think it was fine originally, but at least they've, gone back and fixed it. So, next change here, the Inferno Tower's multi-mode range is being increased from 9 tiles to 10, and I think this is to help a little bit with more of the spammy type attacks, because we're still seeing those kind of hop up in the meta. We're seeing a lot of mass miners now because they've been buffed. A lot more Bow Witch still. Hog Riders are still just as strong. Lunian, same kind of stuff, but we haven't really seen a new attack hit the meta other than the mass Electro Drags, but we won't talk about that because that's just spam. Anyways, game economy improvements. Increase the collection rate for elixir pumps and gold mines. So this is cool. We just get some more loot inside of our gold mines and elixir pumps. This is another reason to get those up to level 10. And I think by doing this increases the loot all around, because you think about the dead bases that just sit there with tons and tons of loot. Like, there you go. They can just build up even more loot, and then you can farm easier. So now is the big bit of this update, the important part, the sole reason why I'm making this video. With Town Hall 12 being released, a new end goal was set in the game, as you would know. Town Hall 11 was the end goal, or the ending, I guess you could say, of the game, where you would hit the max level and you've completed the game, I guess, quote-unquote completed. So now that that has been increased, they need to go back and look at all the other attributes of the game and balance those accordingly to hit that max level. So what they've done, okay, I'll go ahead and see if I can find the play. Here it is. So here's one thing that that's very interesting. So with today's maintenance, we are making new balance changes to upgrade times as well as hero regen times. The list of these changes are pretty extensive. Check out the notes below. I'm not going to read every single stat. I will read a snippet of it, and I will pop it up on the screen for you to read if you want. But essentially what they've done is they've taken every building, every troop, heroes, everything. They have reduced the time for everything, which I think is fantastic. It's going to make progression through the game a lot easier, as well as it's going to balance things out now that Town Hall 12, basically, if they left the upgrades the same, we would be seeing 16-day upgrades at Town Hall 12, which is just ridiculous. That's way too long just to get one thing done. So I think progressively, as they add in more Town Halls and more content, they're going to spread things out. So looking at the building upgrade times, the changes that are going to be happening, it's going to be happening to the army camp, the town hall itself, elixir pumps, elixir storages, gold mines, gold storages, barracks, laboratory, cannon, archer tower, wizard tower, air defense, mortar, clan castle, hidden Tesla, spell factory, expo, Dark Elixir Pump, Dark Elixir Storage, Dark Elixir Barracks, Inferno Tower, Air Sweeper, Dark Spell Factory, Eagle Artillery, Bomb Tower, and yeah, so almost every single building had its upgrade time changed, and a pretty drastic amount too if you go through the video and pause on some of the stats. Again, I don't want to show that because there's just so much to cover, and I don't want this to be like a 30-minute video. So anyways, yeah, now we're going to get into the Barbarian King and Archer Queen time upgrade reductions. We have rebalanced the upgrade times for the Barbarian King and Archer Queen. Please note that these changes in upgrade times do not apply to the Grand Warden. The Grand Warden's upgrade times have not been changed, so that's a key thing right there, and I think that's a good change because the Grand Warden's only at 20 levels. There's no need to change his upgrade time at the moment. So anyways, looking at the Barbarian Kings levels 1 through 25, and then looking at Barbarian Kings levels 26 through 50, and then 51 through 60. So some pretty decent changes here. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of changes near the top of the board, but definitely down lower. So now looking at the Barbarian King and Archer Queen regen time balance. So I do want to note right now, both the Barbarian King and Archer Queen's upgrade times are exactly the same, and so it's referring to the upgrade times. And so now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Barbarian King and Archer Queen's regen time balance. So we have reduced the regen time for the Barbarian and Archer Queen. Below are the new regen times. This is something that's been requested so much in the game. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm so glad they've added this too, because if an army takes an hour to train, it should only take a hero like around 30 minutes, because if you think about it, you can train 2 armies at once, and so it would only make sense to have it double the speed as training an army. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at those from levels 1 through 25, levels 26 through 50, and levels 51 through 60. So some pretty significant changes here all across the board, going from 60 minutes to 46. That's a huge change. As well as for the Grand Warden here, level 1 through 20, we're seeing quite a few changes. I don't think we're seeing any changes to the higher levels. No, we are seeing a little bit of a change, not a huge change, but just a slight change, which is definitely nice to see. So we're definitely getting a reduction in time, which is fantastic, so we're not having to wait hours for our heroes to regen, so that's definitely a big plus. So spell upgrade time reductions. Spell upgrade times have also been reduced largely across the board. Keep in mind, the times listed are the new upgrade times to reach the next level. So looking at it, the lightning spell is getting reduced, the freeze spell, the poison spell, the earthquake spell, haste spell, clone spell, skeleton spell, and that is all the spells that are being affected. So almost every single spell is getting affected. Not every single one of them, but almost every single one of them. And, you know, again, all these changes are taken into careful consideration so that way they can better balance out the game, which is awesome. I'm super glad they're doing this. Even though I spent the hard, you know, time and effort to upgrading those spells, I'm still glad to see them actually make the game better as a whole rather than, you know, say, appeal to me more, which is, oh, don't worry about the lower levels, just worry about the higher level, reduce stuff there. So I'm glad they're rebalancing it all across the board. So troop upgrade times have been reduced as well. We have also reduced the upgrade times for troops. Like the spell balance table, the times shown below are the requirements to upgrade to the next level. So as you can see here, we're seeing effects to the Barbarian, the Archer, the Goblin, the Giant, Wallbreaker, Balloon, Wizard, Healer, Dragon, P.E.K.K.A, Minion, Hog Rider, Valkyrie, Golem, Witch, Lava Hound, and the Bowler, and the Baby Dragon, and the Miner. Forgot about those too. So yeah, that is going to do it for all of the troop upgrade time changes. That pretty much covers every single troop in the game. I'm pretty sure I'm not missing anything other than the Electro Drag, but, you know, again, I think the Electro Drag's is fine the way it is. But yeah, anyway, so that is going to do it for all the content that was changed in this update. This was more of a balance change update, so there was a lot of info, a lot of statistics in this. I know a lot of people might not like that, but it was just a nice little video that I did want to cover, just kind of showcasing all of the content that was added into this balance change, because although that this is just a balance change and nothing new is added, nothing's interesting, there have been a lot of changes that affect the entire game as a whole rather than the new things that were added, which is typically what we see with balance changes. So yeah, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been Jason Orange here, and yeah, I will see you guys later. See ya!